I look back and it's sad because we got to a point towards the end that we were just looking forward for it to be over. And that's not how you want to end a season. That's not a feeling that you want to have.
Lexie Hull is poised to make a major impact on the Indiana Fever's roller coaster 2024 season. Despite the mounting pressures and expectations, Hull and her teammates have shown incredible resilience. But what really went on behind the scenes? In her latest interview with Locked On Women's Sports, Hull reveals the biggest secrets.
Delighted to have ACC legend Lexie Hull. Is that what we have to do now? Oh my God!
I don't like the sound
I know. Me either.
Behind the Fever's stunning turnaround, alongside Caitlin Clark. What led to their early struggles, and how did they manage to flip the script and become title contenders? What role did Christy Sides play in all this, and what does Hull truly
When I was in college, I didn't even know if I wanted to play professional basketball because I didn't know if it was a real career path for me.
think of her new coach, Stephanie White? Get ready for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Indy's wild ride. This is the inside scoop you won't want to miss. Now, picture this: Lexie Hull, a former national champion and the 6th overall pick in the 2022 WNBA draft, sitting on the bench.
When you're talking to Christy Sides early on, where you're being told, I am going to get more of this playing time, more of this opportunity, and does that help feed your confidence as well?
Watching. Waiting. This isn't how she envisioned her 2024 season would start, but there she was, sidelined as Katie Lou Samuelson and Christy Wallace played instead.
I think, definitely early on in my career when our team, my first year, winning 5 games in a season, and then you're not performing great, it's like, where do I belong? This league is tough. Like, what am I doing wrong? And so there's doubts for sure.
Hull's journey in the WNBA had been challenging. Her shooting struggled to match the form she had shown in college. In her first 2 seasons, her three-point shooting hovered between 11.
Your ability to shoot was something that we've talked about on previous programs. It's something that you never questioned. It was something that Lynn Dunn was certain of when she drafted you. It was something that, if I will be frank, people around the league were hoping for. This idea that, this is something you'd always done well in college. It was difficult to find a rhythm. It was difficult to find playing time, which makes a difference as far as a rhythm goes.
7% and 22%, a stark contrast to her stellar performance at Stanford. The pressure was overwhelming, but Hull pushed herself in every practice and game.
You just put up shooting 47.1% from 3.
Determined to prove she belonged. It wasn't just about meeting the expectations of being the 6th overall pick anymore. She wanted to show she could thrive in the best women's basketball league in the world. Then, on May 20,
when you played more than 30 minutes per game this season, do you know what you shot from 3? You shot 66.7% from 3. When you went out there, there's no such thing as tired legs in that scenario. You are sinking 2 and 3. No one does that. No one, it's just incredible.
25th, everything started to click. During a game against Las Vegas, Hull got hot, hitting 4 3-pointers early. Suddenly, she felt more comfortable and in control.
It's incredibly satisfying. Looking back on a season, the things that you take are those percentages. Those are the things that, you're working to improve year after year. And so just, really, really proud of myself for sticking with it and believing in myself and continuing to work. And then being able to finish the season with a percentage that I'm proud of.
Control on the court. As the season progressed, Hull's confidence continued to grow. When she played over 30 minutes in a game, she hit an incredible 66.7% of her three-pointers. Getting more opportunities to play and seeing my shots go in really boosted my confidence, Hull said. The biggest shift, however, was in Hull's mindset.
Our season was not always fun, and I think that you learn a lot from that. And so being able to kind of talk about those experiences and share how we can be better and just stick it out. It's okay. Yes, losing games sucks. No one wants to lose games.
She stopped doubting herself and began embracing her journey. I'm just grateful for how the sport is growing, she shared, feeling more positive about her path forward. Hull's comeback was just the beginning. The Fever's season was about to take.
Obviously, even if we didn't have a brutal schedule at the start, the expectations are still there and it might not go how you want it to go. And that's just part of those growing pains. And then you add in trying to build chemistry, and then you're adding in a very difficult schedule.
An even more dramatic turn, and Hull was ready to be a key player in their story. Just as she found her rhythm, the entire Indiana Fever team faced a grueling challenge: 11 games in 20 days. It sounded impossible, but for the 2024 Fever, it was only the start of their uphill battle. The WNBA hadn't faced a schedule this brutal since 2003. Now,
it's all of these pressures and expectations that, again, it's like, are we good enough? Are we going to be good enough?
Now, imagine tackling this gauntlet as a young team still trying to find its identity. The Fever weren't just playing games, they were battling the league's elite night after night, with barely a chance to catch their breath. As the losses mounted, so did the pressure. The team stumbled out of the gate with a discouraging 2-10 record, leaving little room for error for a squad that had just landed the #1 draft pick. Expectations were sky high, but instead of living up to the hype,
we ran the numbers at the Nets. No one had gone through what you went through since the 2003 WNBA season. Was it hard in those early days to kind of keep your equilibrium between the attention and the amount of difficulty in the schedule itself?
They found themselves in a downward spiral. Lexie Hull, still finding her rhythm after a bench stint early in the season, felt the weight of those expectations. In her own words, she described the team's mindset. Behind closed doors, the team's morale was hanging by a thread. Coach Christy Sides faced the tough task of keeping her players focused and motivated as the losses piled up.
But I think we as a group were really resilient and stuck together and believed that this process was going to play out and that we were going to get better. We're going to be a team that can compete against every team in the league. And we did that by the end of the season. So I think I'm proud looking back that we didn't just give in and say, it's not this year. Like, we'll start over next year.
But how do you build team chemistry when you're constantly on the road, facing one tough opponent after another? The lack of practice.
We dug deep, we practiced hard, and eventually when we had time to practice, in the start, we didn't really have time to practice as a team. We got closer, we got better, and I think you saw that how we played on the court. It just continued to get better and better throughout the year.
Time only made matters worse. Games came fast and furious, leaving little room to address weaknesses or devise new strategies. It seemed like the Fever were stuck in a perfect storm of poor scheduling and tough competition. How close did they come to falling apart? The breaking point was near. Lesser teams might have crumbled under the pressure, pointing fingers and fracturing into cliques. But something remarkable happened during those darkest moments. Hull revealed the team's secret weapon: resilience.
I remember the draft party in Cambridge, which was the first time we had that many people in Cambridge for not really any performance. The stands were filled, people had their jerseys, people had their gear on, and it was just a hint of what the season was going to be like.
We as a group were really resilient and stuck together, she said. Instead of turning on each other, they leaned on one another for support, digging deep and pushing through grueling practices whenever they could find the time. It wasn't just about improving their skills, it was about forging a bond strong enough to withstand whatever challenges the WNBA could throw their way. But even as they weathered this storm, the Fever knew that resilience alone wouldn't be enough to turn their season around. They needed something more: a spark.
I definitely got passes and tried to finish when I wasn't expecting to get the ball. So now it's okay, every cut I have, every cut I make, every fast break I run, I have a real opportunity to get the ball, which definitely took me a second. And I think it really just took one of those to really get my head around oh, she's all the way down at the other end of the floor and she could still make the pass to me down at the block at this end. So, it's been awesome.
A catalyst that could transform their potential into results on the court. Little did they know, that spark was about to arrive in spectacular fashion.
It's so fun to be able to know that you're not just cutting to cut, knowing that you're cutting with the possibility of like actually making a really cool play. So that makes it that much more worthwhile.
Enter Caitlin Clark. The rookie sensation brought a whirlwind of excitement to the Indiana Fever. Reporters packed practices, fans scrambled for tickets.
And I think it's really fun because they garner so much attention, obviously, from the other team's defense. So then it allows the other players, me included, to make cuts, make reads, and they're really good at finding, those openings and giving the ball up when it's needed and finding the better shot. So it's really fun, and I feel really lucky to get to play with them.
And all eyes turned to Indianapolis. But a big question remained: how would this star rookie fit with a team still trying to find its way? For Lexie Hull and her teammates, Clark's arrival meant dealing with a new level of attention. They felt the pressure to win and live up to the hype surrounding their new star. As Clark settled in, she elevated everyone's game. Hull was amazed by the change. "It's awesome to see everyone grow," she said, watching how Clark created new opportunities on the court.
I think, kind of how you mentioned earlier, just finding the rhythm, finding the confidence in game. Shooting 25 shots in a row in practice is different than getting your 4 looks in a game and not being able to knock them down and having the confidence to continue shooting them. So I think just getting the opportunity in that second half of the season and seeing them go in and then continuing to get those open looks really just fed that confidence, and I think that hot streak towards the end.
Hull had to adjust to Clark's unique playing style. Her vision and passing were unlike anything Hull had ever seen. "It took me a while to realize she could pass to me from the other end of the court," Hull admitted. As Hull grew more comfortable with this new dynamic, her confidence soared. Suddenly, every move on the court could lead to something big. The game.
You shot 60% from 3 during those 11 starts during the regular season.
Felt different, more open.